What is going on YouTube? Chrono here and welcome back to our free to play challenge. So I was going to do a bit of a different type of video for today's update, but I did see a question pop up that honestly I feel like is one of the biggest issues that new players run into that I see people ask about all the time. It's the battle power gates. And I wanted to talk with you guys about what I did to make sure that I never really ran into those as a problem. To be perfectly honest, the only battle power gate I ever ran into during this challenge so far was at the very end of Redham, right before the very last quest. You need to get a little bit more battle power. Up until that point, I haven't hit a single battle power gate and I'm able to coast through all of them. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I was able to do that. So, in case you're familiar with how these things work, you probably are thinking to yourself, yeah, I know, level things up, so on and so forth. But again, I feel this is knowledge we take for granted as players who are used to this process. So I want to go ahead and lay it all out for you guys. That way there's no excuse as to why people can't get this taken care of. So to start things off, we're going to talk about the weapons that I'm using. So we're using the Renesia weapons. These weapons you get for free during the storyline. All you've got to do is do a side quest and talk to it's one of the girls or one of the operators in Central City. End up talking to her, and then she gave you they give you one of every single one of them, and they give you 3 units. So it's really nice. These Renesia weapons basically carried me all the way through to this point, and I'll probably use them going into Kavaris. That's probably where I'll make my first, upgrade of weapons, so to speak. Now, a big thing I notice a lot of people talk about the battle power gate they get stuck at is like the very first one. Like, I have to get over 1,000 battle power and I just can't. It's very easy to push your battle power higher. Keep in mind, I didn't do anything extra to level up. All I did was the main quest. That was it. That's the only experience I got, and I was able to get over that battle power hump. Now, the way I did that was I took my weapons. Now, they give you these weapons at level 29. Now, this one's upgraded to 40. I wouldn't recommend going that far. I'd recommend upgrading it to 30 because the limit break process is expensive. Now, if you want to go ahead and spend it just so that way you don't have to worry about it, that's fine. Maybe getting a weapon on your server is too expensive, but the limit break process is 120k. That is too much. I would just get this to 30 and use it like that. This only has 3 augments on it. I wanted to leave it at 3 augments. Once I realized it was 120k meseta, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But let you guys know this shouldn't be something that you actually go for. But 3 is enough. Upgrade it to plus 30 and you're good to go. Get your units to plus 30 as well. You may want to wait because there's a quest that'll ask you to upgrade something. Then you can go ahead and upgrade those items and you can get that quest done at the same time without having to upgrade something else. But get those upgraded, get them to plus 30 and you'll be good to go there. Afterwards, augment them. Augment your gear. Each augment counts as battle power. I'm going to leave a link in the video description to the Visiphone site where it shows you all the different augments, but this is all counted as battle power. You should definitely go ahead and augment your gear. It is super useful. You don't have to augment it heavily, right? You can go with a soul 1. I'd recommend dust soul 1 or 2. Realistically, even 2 is solid. You can go 3. Freed souls are actually very inexpensive right now because it's the current region, so people are farming that stuff. But I would say dust for a new player. It's a bit of extra HP and there's no negative sides to it. I think it's a good idea. And though I don't think really the negatives of freed soul are that big, for someone who's new to the game, it might be a bit overwhelming for them. So dust soul will be perfectly fine. If you're augmenting range or if you're augmenting tech, you don't really have to worry about those sort of things because they're very inexpensive no matter what, since those souls come from urgent quests, which people do regardless, keeping the prices down. This is just an issue for melee, where the souls are something you have to be very conscious of. And the one place where the soul actually drops as a part of an urgent quest is in Redham, and it's dust soul. So that's the one time I was saying like, hey, this would be pretty inexpensive. That's what I would go with. I wouldn't spend more than 1 to 2k per capsule. If it's more than 2k, 5k as a maximum. That's if you really feel like you're just making tons of money and you're good to go. But anything past that's really just not worth your time when it comes to money. You're better just augmenting anything in these slots than leaving them blank, because again, it's all free battle power. Take care of augmenting your weapon and all of your units. Next, unlock your potential. If you're using the Renesia weapons, these cost nothing to unlock potentials. So I'm gonna show you really quick. You can see the Evil Cold Blade. It's gonna cost me these materials plus 40k. Renesia, no materials, 0 meseta. Upgrade this to level 5. This is going to give you free battle power. It's a nice jump in damage. This is very helpful. As you can see right here, this has got what? This is up to 3. I upgraded this specifically for a quest. Actually, you were able to upgrade. They give you a bunch of weapons as part of a Redham quest, I just went ahead and upgraded the potential here because this didn't cost me anything. But as you can see, it doesn't cost me a cent to upgrade this all the way to level 5. And that's gonna give you more battle power, so get it done. Making a multi-weapon does not actually do anything. Don't worry about that. Adding preset skills, so getting fixes on these, you can't, but even getting a fix on this wouldn't increase your battle power, so don't worry about that either. The next big step that a lot of people miss, that they're running into this problem, is getting your skill points. There are these cocoons all around, these trainias, that give you skill points for a first time completion. You do not need to complete the side quest. It does not matter. Just finish the cocoon, get your skill point, and then afterwards you want to go into the next most important thing, which is apply those skill points. If you're not sure where to apply them, feel free to come by the stream and ask about what you should do with your skill tree. You always are welcome to check out any of the videos we talked about skill trees beforehand. I've done skill trees for Bouncer. I know my good friend Renova has done skill trees for almost every other class, so you can always check out his videos as well. But you need to go ahead and load out your skill tree. As you can see, I've used all of my skill points on Bouncer and on Fighter, but I have not on Force. I'm missing 6, right? If I were to change my subclass to Force, you can see, oh, I lose some battle power. And the reason I lose battle power is because I have 6 skill points unallocated. Let's look at every other class where I have none of the skill points allocated. Oh, 78, 78, 78. It's all the same, right? Even though these are different classes, and that's because it's skill point or skill power, a skill point based being applied. That's it. Get your skill points applied, you get that free battle power. And I promise you, if you guys are making sure you're upgrading your gear, augmenting your gear, you are not going to run into these same gates. You'll be able to push past them. Afterwards, the only thing I would recommend is honestly just level up. If it comes down to it, you need to level up, that's fine. Level up, do your daily maybe. Take a break, come back tomorrow, do your daily, and you might just jump up in the level and you're high enough to go ahead and push forward on the quest. If you're not, then maybe you need to just do a little bit of grinding. Grinding is not the end of the world. You can do side quests. There's tons of side quests in the Central City in the Aleo region. I did 0 side quests. I have not done a single one. I'm actually on purpose avoiding doing side quests and not doing any grinding to see how far I get before I actually have to. The only bit of grinding I did was after I finished a quest in Redham Alnoth. It switched over to being a public lobby, and there was a PSE burst that had just started. I just did the PSE burst and then left, and that was it. All I've done. Outside of that, it's just been doing my dailies, and I've been good to go from there. But that's about it, guys. This character, we'll see. I think I created him, I want to say sometime during the autumn event. I don't say the last week of the autumn event. So he had access to getting a few different other rewards. But other than that, realistically, I have access to all the same things you guys do. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I didn't. But in case you guys are curious, so this is the first video of the series that you guys have seen. Just so you know, this is fully free to play. I don't have any premium, and it's kind of a crazy concept to even actually talk about. But no, I can't even get the premium that I get for being a creator. This character doesn't have that applied. This character is completely separate of my other character and of my account. This is a completely new account, so it has no access to that premium. And as you guys can see, my purchase history is blank. I have never purchased any AC on this account, so not sure why I had to explain that process to people beforehand. But someone even mentions like, oh, well, you have the possibility, you do get free premium, you could just apply to this character. No, I can't. I would have to give them a completely different character to send the rewards to. I don't get them on whatever character I want. It's only on my main character or my main account. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you guys that are running into those BP blocks. Let me know if there's anything you specifically run into as a problem. I'll be more than happy to tackle it in the comments below. Anyway, guys, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe when you keep up with more. I'll talk to you all next time. Take care. Peace out.